Hello.
Okay, how y'all feeling? How y'all feeling? How y'all feeling? Let me see.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay, we got it good. Hey, Michelle.
Grand Rising.
Grand Rising. Okay, let's see. I'm steady letting people in. Good morning, Latasha. You got on your red lipstick, Michelle?
I couldn't find any. So I got pink. I don't know if you can see. It's like a pinkish
Okay.
color, but my hair is red.
I'll take that. I'll take it.
Hey, everybody.
Hello. Benisha. Okay, we allowing everybody to come in. They are Hold on. I'm trying to manage it all. Let's see. Okay, there goes Nick. Okay, there goes Nick. Good morning, sis.
Good morning.
Hold on, y'all. I'm still letting everybody in and sending text messages. So last night, I know some of you guys, I know there was so much going on last night. Is the music really loud? Is it really loud on y'all end? No? Okay, cool.
No, it's not.
One moment, y'all. Let me see. Okay. Did y'all have a hard time getting on? How was it this morning? Was it a little bit better? Because I know last week we had a few issues.
Easy breezy.
Okay.
Easy breezy this morning.
Good. Man, look, y'all, I'm just trying to get better. That's all I'm trying. I'm just trying to level up and, figure this shit out at the same time. So I appreciate y'all being patient and understanding. This is definitely new. Being completely out of touch with, not being able to like reach out to my people like that. But we making it work. Okay, I got one more. Let me send this one last message. I'm sorry.
You chuck it on, you done got up on my bed.
Copy. And here we go. Okay, so last night we had candid conversations, which was really, really good. And so we were up sort of late. I know Nick had meditation. How was it, Nick?
It was incredible. It was incredible. You could really feel the energy shift. I went over because they had a standard visualization that they wanted everybody to do. So I did that, and then after that, spirit took over.
Oh,
so we just kind of did some more, It was real nice.
Man,
real nice.
I wish, see, that's something I'm gonna need you to start recording this. I'm gonna get you to get out.
Well, I went live, so it's still on my page.
Oh, cool. That's right. Okay, so I can go
Yeah.
back. I can go back. I talked to Nisha about that this morning. I was like, dang, I missed everything last night. And I love the fact that the energy that's sort of just going around right now is really productive. I don't know about everybody else's sisterhood, their team, or the people that you have around you, but like this energy that's really going around, this amazing circle of people that I have been able to be around, really good. To be able to have somebody, you on one end,
I'm gonna mute me.
have your sisters working something on another end, that's real live. What's up? And so it feels real good to have, know that you have Nick over here. And for those of you all who don't know Dr. Nick, I'm not gonna even tell y'all the story because
Oh, good. I thought
I
like,
tell
oh,
the story all
God,
the
again.
time, but I'm not gonna tell the story today, you know. But how I manifested it, and if y'all hear the noise upstairs, this is what happens when you quarantine at home with the little 1-year-old. So you know, New Rod sort of is, you know, the boss sometimes, but I did years ago, and actually I didn't exactly know how long it was until Facebook memories will make you relive some shit that you may not want to relive, and then sometimes it be, you know, useful because just the other week it popped up. It's like, you and Nick have been friends, Facebook friends for 8 years, and I was like, I told y'all. I told y'all. So I have to tell y'all this story a little bit later on. But 8 years ago, or obviously, I said that I was going to work with Nick, and I didn't know anything about her. Don't know how I stumbled up on her page or any of that. But um, here it is, 8 years down the line, and you know, we're right here together, you know, really pushing healing. And it's beautiful to have her right here today because this quarantine thing, I'm just going to be honest with y'all, you know, everybody, for those of you all, if you in relationships, you are finna really figure out, you know, who you are and who that person is, because we're being made to sit down, be still, deal with each other, deal with ourselves. And this is an amazing time to do some shadow work. And so what I was picking up on, I knew that we were going to have the conversation about relationships because this is either where you're gonna last or where you're not gonna last, or this is a time where people who are single will start to feel really lonely, or sort of feel like alone. And it's a difference between being alone and lonely, but you know, you'll start feeling those emotions and you'll start having to go through that. And you can either make some, you know, some really good decisions, or you can make some sad choices at the time. And so what's supposed to have happened, who is it making this noise? Hold on. If y'all don't mind muting yourself unless you're ready to talk. It's either honey. Let me just mute y'all. Okay. And so I just knew that it was very important. Ooh, Samora, you look cute. Oh, bad lips. Come on now. But I just knew that it was a time where we this time I can truly be appreciative of. I'm gonna unmute you, Nick. I can truly be appreciative of, because I've been able to do so much. I don't know, Nick, how you been vibing in this quarantine time?
I found out that I'm good by myself.
Yeah, you really are good by yourself, just you and your two puppies.
Yeah, and you know the thing is that you know, since me and my ex-wife broke up, I had, you know, you already know I've been on the road seeking, looking for, you know, I got to give me a boo.
I'm like, Nick got the juice. She gonna give us the today, okay?
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's like I got to give me a boo, but you know, during this time, I've been good with me. Like I've really been figuring out who I am, what I like, and that it's okay. It's okay to be single. And that in itself for me was a miracle, because I've never wanted to be. Now I'm like, okay, well, cool. Yeah. Let's do this. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got to pay for no dates. I ain't got, you know, I'm just gonna chill for a minute. You know what I mean? So it's really been good for me that way. And also I did some solar plexus chakra work. Yeah. And wow. It's I had some deep breakthroughs. I would even say I had like a little bit of an emotional breakdown at one point, just because, you know, I'm at a point where I'm at a lot of transitions in my life, in a lot of places that I haven't been. Mm-hmm. And, you know, it gets scary. Like, you know, even though, you know, I can tell everybody else how to do something, You know, when it sit in your face, you be like, oh, okay, I'm supposed to apply this, I'm gonna apply this, I'm gonna apply this. You know what I'm saying? But then it's just like, you know, after it hit me in the face and it stirred the shit out of me, then I was like, oh, okay, let me bring this shit back. All right, I know what to do. I know what to do. So it's been amazing for me.
That's crazy that you said solar plexus work, because I got instructions to work on my solar plexus real clear. And I really had thought, I know sometimes I also have to work on my root chakra. That's the survival part of me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and sometimes having that, you know, got to have that confidence that you can, that, like, you got this shit. Like, hey man, just keep flowing and, you know, doing what you know that you're being told to do, being obedient, which is how I live. I tell everybody I'm one that is for obedience, man, you know. And so that solar plexus, though, I did a solar plexus meditation, and my ancestor, I have this old ancestor who was always around. If anybody, you know, who feels energy or sees spirits, they be like, who is that old lady? And I'd be like, girl, that's her. And so I didn't really know what to call her, or in what I was calling her. She told me, that ain't my damn name. Don't call me that. Quit. And I was like, okay. And so in this solar plexus meditation, she told me her name, and it was Ishawa. And so I was like, and then something said it's something connected to that name, and to research it and look it up. And I've been doing the research, and it is, and exactly how she told me to spell it out, I went and researched that word, and it was like a real live word. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Like,
that type of shit is incredible.
Here. So I just have to say to everybody, man, I know this is a different time, and it's sort of difficult at the same time, but you can really use this time to, was you taking the picture, sis? Because I wanted to make sure I was cheesing.
You wasn't cheesing, and yes, I was. All right, I'm gonna take another one. Everybody cheese.
Cheese. No.
People turning their camera on and stuff now.
Yes, come on in. Thank you for getting there, because last week we messed around and didn't get it until you can either use this time and you can be productive and effective, or you can use this time and you can be fucked up. And you don't want to take this time where you are being, nobody has a choice really. It's like, you know, God, Spirit, Universe said, sit y'all asses down and get a hold of y'all goddamn self, for y'all, for everybody here. And I'm like, oh my God, it didn't just touch us, you know, in this city, in this United States, it touched the entire world. And we are being made to, come on, red lipstick. I don't know who that is, but girl, you cute. Who is that?
My name's Aisha.
Girl, y'all are doing me. I just love y'all. That's all I have to say. But so in that, okay, let me just say, in this quarantine time, we can't afford to fuck up. We just cannot afford to make these unnecessary. And I know myself, I have not always been the best. You know, I've had my share of fuck up. But right now, it's just like, oh, we have to do something different, or we are about to be in some real live deep shit. And so, you know, just like Nick was saying, you know, she's okay with being by herself. I realized that I had went through a period of my life where I have always been with somebody. And I had never really been by myself. And so this year was definitely a different transition. I hadn't really spoke on it much, but Ray and I are going through this divorce separation. I don't even know what to call it. You know, it is what it is, but I had to really deal with a lot of myself. And I was doing shadow work at that time, coming off of that last Mercury retrograde back in October. Say that was what my ass. That was what my ass. Like, it was like retrograde shadow work, like at a whole nother level. And
Yeah.
I was really, and I was told to be quiet. I was instructed to be quiet and be observant. And so if now, any other time, you know me, I can run my mouth. And
Yeah.
people be wanting to hear me talk. And I was right in the middle of like the university and, you know, mentoring. And, you know, people was like, I need you to say something. I was like, I can't. Like, you know, I've been told to be quiet. I can't say anything. And it was different because that shifted a lot of energy. And I was really, you know, concerned about how that was going to do, you know, how things were going to work with, you know, where I was at purpose wise. And it was really hard because a lot of the people didn't understand, and a lot of people don't understand obedience. And so, yeah, it has been, it was different starting out this year, definitely going into this new phase of myself where I got a little bitty baby. I'm a mother of 3 boys. To deal with the emotions of what it looks like for things to be one way one day and to be another way, a totally different day, and you having to try to merge that, you know, with your family, with your friends. And I still had work to do. I still had so much work to do. And I know Meech is on here. Like my sisters had to, yeah, they pretty much I appreciate y'all. Connect with you a good sisterhood during this quarantine time, especially for those who are working on the healing parts of yourself and of your heart, and understanding how to sort of flow this thing out. And so the Sacred Sisterhood, which is one of the tribes, they were actually supposed to have been doing this holdout Sunday, putting it all together. And so Mo had sent me some snaps, some screenshots of this guy named Duka. And I was like, yeah, I like this guy. He's, you know, that millennial age. He's fresh. He's authentic. And I love people when they are fresh, because you be so transparent. You're not worried about what the world is gonna say. You just being yourself, and so real shit always come out. Especially when you're fresh. That underdog, as I say. And so I know Duka's on the line.
Yes, ma'am.
Last night, and so Duke, it's way more people in here today, huh?
Right.
Yeah.
I'm nervous now.
Duka is our first male in the healing circle, so y'all be light on Duka, because it takes a lot to commit to saying, you know what, I'm gonna show up as a man and show up and say some real shit, and
Right
and to do it and be transparent. And so I knew it would be a good time to have this kind of conversation. We worked on last week healing the little girl from within. Chantel, are you on? I thought I saw you click on.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. She got her cute picture up today. Chantel, last week we had a really good time, and it's crazy because Duka told, come on with your red lipstick, sis. That's right.
Hey.
Duka had where is Mo at? Is Mo on?
Yeah, Mo's in.
Okay, Mo.
Yes, I'm on.
Okay, Mo, sort of tell us how he gave you this homework assignment that I absolutely fucking love.
Dang, let me think. Duka, how did you give me that? I can't even remember. I know it was a post. I don't know if it was my post or your post, but I know we interacted. And then you said, well, how about try writing a love letter to yourself?
Yeah, I had saw you you posted something about, how much you had overcame. And I was like, well, let me see if she can do this, because it's hard to do. Like, it's very hard to do, because I had to do it like 3 times before my counselor was like, okay, now you got it. And I was like, we hit each other up, and it was like, hey, do this. And you're like, cool, I still ain't got it, but cool.
Did you actually do it, Mo?
No.
So I did one, but he was saying that the one that I did was more of a motivation letter to myself. And then he was like, I need you to dig deep and write a real love letter to yourself.
It was perfect timing for this because Chantel just gave us last week assignments on writing to the little girl from within. And so I was like, man, this is cool because he had her to write an actual love letter to herself. And he said that Duka, how did she do it?
It was more like she was on it was positive, but it was more like, you know, I'm proud of the woman you've become, but it wasn't talking about what made her become the woman she became. And that's how deep you gotta go and address them issues, like, you know, how to love, like, from your point of view. And you'll start to see, like, dang, I've been doing this all wrong, because I had to figure out that I was loving all wrong because I didn't have any examples. Like I told y'all last night, I didn't have any perfect examples of what marriage and love look like. You know, like I thought that fighting, and not physically, but arguing and getting over and then eating dinner that night was how shit's supposed to go. And I thought it really changed for me when I had my first son, because I was my second son. For my first son, I was like, man, men don't cry, boys don't cry, get your ass up off your shoulders. But it wasn't until my daddy came home from prison. He was like, man, I taught you all wrong, dude. Man, you better cry. You better let that out, or you're gonna end up just like I was. Yeah. You know, and it was, and man say, it's gonna be a good day. Yeah. It's gonna be a good day. Yeah.
And the journey from that, how has that sort of been from you? Because I know you talked about just, you know, your dad, you know, and going to prison and the lifestyle that he lived, and really just basically, you know, our parents sort of being the representation of love and how we love.
And that journey was, for me, it was rough. Because like I said, I was 31 years old when I hugged my daddy with both arms. You know, he wrapped his arms around me, I wrapped my arms around him. And by that time, you know, you are what you are at 30. And it's gonna be kind of hard to undo them habits. And he was like, no, dude, you gotta hug me. And I'm like, man, I'm hugging you. He was like, nah, this ain't, you know, you treat me like we in church. I'm your daddy. And I'm not big, like I told you last night, I'm not big on titles. If you're my daddy, show me. If you my mama, show me. If you my girl, show me. Like, the title means nothing if it ain't no action with it. And that's the journey that kind of isolated me, because now I found out I was doing more loving on people than they were loving on me, and that could be detrimental. Like that, you know, it gotta be equal. And just be, you know, people say, man, that's your mama. Well, I ain't finna put up with shit from nobody. I don't live like that. And that's the hardest part of the journey, is walking away from people you love for their sake. Because, you know, I have that streak of anger in me where I black out. So, you know, that journey is very lonely, but it's peaceful. And if you can be like Love Bug says, she's okay with being by herself. If you can get to that point, life is great. But it was a time in my life I couldn't be alone. I was with woman to woman and woman and woman and woman and woman, because it was hard for me to sleep by myself because of some of the stuff I've done in the streets. Like some of the stuff that I done in Iraq and Afghanistan, it's hard for me to just lay by myself and make it through a night. So I jumped from bed to bed to bed to bed. And before I know it, I had broke a lot of hearts. You know, I had no intention of staying in that bed for a long period of time, and I knew this going in. And that ain't cool. You know, that ain't. So now I'm just undoing a lot of stuff. you know, that I messed up, and it's hard because people don't let go as easy as you do, you know. And the more you try to move forward and change, there's somebody that's gonna hold you to your past, and I'm gonna constantly bring it up and make slide come. I gotta ain't it like that. He ain't. You know, I don't want to get into that, but it's hard.
Yeah.
Because the more you try to change, the more people that don't want to change get in your way. And so that's that journey.
And as a man, how does that sort of deal with you? Because many of us, it's so much that you said that I can relate to. And for 1 second, I felt myself getting a little emotional just now. I was like, oh my
Me
God,
too.
I think I'm finna cry. And I was like, damn, I just put these eyelashes on. Shit, they finna come off. I'm gonna be on here looking ugly. And I cry ugly, y'all. I got an ugly cry but I felt myself emotional. Even with my dad, or my mother, we don't, they don't know how to hug. And the other month, I said to myself, I asked my boys, do I need to hug them more? And even now, the conviction is, you know, and it's something that I had to work through because I didn't have it. And so that affection or the lack of, I wasn't a very affectionate person. And I didn't really know how to be that way. Even when I would have in relationships where the man would want to hold your hand, I was like, we don't got to do all of that shit. We don't got to hold
Right.
right. But really, it wasn't that, you know, he was trying to be, you know, he just needed affection. And I did not know how to do that. No, I didn't, or how to give it. And my oldest son is very affectionate. And he's, you know, to the point where he's like he be in your personal space. And for me, it would almost make me like tense up, like, oh my God, like you hugging me too much, and you know, or whatever.
Yeah, a hug is manipulative. What are you trying to get from me? Yeah, I've been I've been there.
And so as a man, to hear you say it from that point, it just I'm always thinking about, you know, what I'm pouring into my boys enough to make sure that when they grow up, that they don't have so much to have to heal from. So much, like, what can I give them now, the tools and the resources, and of myself, to where they don't have to be some of the men who I fucking dated, you know, or who I and I know last night one of the words she said, when we kept saying toxic, you was like, what is that word? What is that? So Duka was like, it was almost like you just didn't believe in or how do you look at the word toxic? How do you take that?
I mean, I think it's like one of those trendy words, to be honest. And it's, when I researched it last night, I feel like it's like the word love is something they placed on it to do away with it. Like, it's just a Band-Aid. You know what I mean? Like, you calling me toxic, but are you misunderstanding the shit? It's like, the best way I can do it is give an example. I was with one woman and I didn't argue. So she was like, you being manipulative. What? The whole, and like I told you last night, I don't do closure. And that I was told for that reason, I'm toxic. Like, I really don't get what that word means. So I mean, it's just placed there. Like, what are you saying to me when you say that? Like, I still misunderstood. I didn't get it.
Nick, let me see if Nick can chime in. Nick, can you chime in on the word toxic, and your perspective on it?
Well, I had a definition until I heard him speak about it.
It gave me a totally different view on it.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
I think we need to think about it in terms of what is not good for you.
Yes, ma'am.
What's not good for you opposed to, because honestly, there are some things that we call toxic that other people tolerate from people, and it's okay with them. But for us, it just drags us all the way the fuck down. And it's toxic to us. It's toxic to our energy. It's bad for our system. But it may be, it just may be the way that either we're raised or we're programmed or we're taught. And so, you know, just coming from a different point of view, I would say that we need to look at the way, or look at what's good for us. If it feels like poison to us, then that's exactly what it is. Then that I would name that toxic. If it feels like poison to us, and we all have a right to define what's not good for us. You know, so if it's not good for us, then I would say that that's toxic. So like the brother Duka said, like if somebody told you were toxic, well, maybe it's that you didn't. Unfortunately, I would love to have somebody that didn't argue. But,
right on.
You know what I'm saying? But it's like,
Right.
It's like for some people, they need that. And for me, initially what I would say is that if you need a person to be arguing with you all the time, then both of y'all probably, if you got somebody that both of y'all arguing all the time, y'all are probably both toxic. But
yeah, for real. Yeah, for real. But
you know what I'm saying?
like, and it wasn't until, I mean, not to cut you off, but
No, go ahead.
I used to say that stupid shit. Like, if we don't fuss and we don't argue, you don't love me. Shit,
Yeah.
I used to
Yeah.
be like that. Like, if we don't fight, man, you don't really love me like that. And it wasn't until, you know, I kept hearing last night, kept saying, you got to fight for me. I want somebody that's going to fight for me. Man, I want somebody I can fight with, man. But that fight for me, I'm not doing that. Because we should be able to understand and sit this down. We're grown. We should be able to be like, hey, let's talk this out. Now, you know, it's some woman out there be like, man, he don't stick around. One thing go wrong, he gone. Yeah, I was that because I never planned on staying. But for a woman you love, you ain't gonna run like that. And I did learn that. And yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess like you said, I guess it was for those individuals. What I was doing for them was toxic. Because with the next, it was like, damn, I'll text you later then. So, you know, it was still just a misunderstanding to me of that word. Like, I think it's just used too much. It's right there with you hating on me. You know, when I'm really just telling you the truth. You know,
Yeah.
so it's crazy.
I think sometimes we can tend to use words to play in for our favor, you know, and definitely toxic is one of the words that I feel like we can tend to use. And that is because a lot of the times we don't take that moment or that opportunity to actually sit down and see ourselves. Like,
Right.
that shadow work is very goddamn important, you know. And I know Nick went through this journey, and it's crazy because when I connect with people, and I was feeling Nick energy so bad. I was just over here like, I was almost sort of sad for my sis. I was like, man, sis over there going through, you know. And I was like, that shadow work is a motherfucker where you have to sit down and see yourself for yourself. Like, now,
Yeah.
beyond everybody else shit and the things that contributed to it, do you see you? Are you able to see yourself and have a realistic conversation with yourself and say, yeah, sometimes you be doing too much, or nobody told you to go over here and love this person like this? You know, why is it that, do you really love yourself? Have you really looked at yourself and had this moment in the mirror where you can really just say to yourself, like, you know, I love you, past all other shit that you know is flawed. We know our flaws. We know the things that we need to work on. If you say that you don't, you lie. You know those things. And sometimes it's sort of hard to have that moment where you can truly sit down with yourself. And especially when you're coming out of situations, you can easily find the blame in somebody else.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
Like, yeah, that was you, you left or you this. Well, at some point in time, when does the person get to choose themselves? When does the person get, what, hey, I'm gonna do this for me. And even though I know that this is gonna be hard, or I know that this is going to be, whatever, but I'm gonna actually choose and do this for me. And so for me, I think this is the most, I for months I've been quiet just about, a lot of the things that has been happening in my life, because I'm trying to figure out, like, dang, at this part of myself, how do I explain it, and how do I share it, and it not seem, one-sided, or that it doesn't seem, it doesn't seem like, where I'm at right now. Like, how do I explain it? And that was sort of difficult to do, and to still do me, and to still heal past myself. And so I know I talked about this being the red lipstick edition, but it was those moments where I had a real life red lipstick experience. And, I sort of gave it that acronym of risking every detail, because when you can be transparent, like, you really work on healing yourself. I found healing in my transparency, to be able to talk about it, and to be able to, sort of share, and to not be ashamed, even within my sisterhood, where I can call and say, man, okay, this is what's going on. And nobody was sort of like expecting for this to happen, or even myself. I didn't really, I wasn't, or you really don't get into, I don't get into relationships to get, to say, hey, I'm gonna take, I'm getting this, and, and I'm out. I don't get into relationships, in that. But this time with myself, and being able to really risk every detail, to be vulnerable, to be fucking vulnerable. And I know Chantel talks about that word a fucking lot, but to be vulnerable, that was really difficult. That was hard as shit. And then next thing I know, when that one chakra is out of place, shit, everything.
That whole alignment goes away.
Everything was just all. Wait a minute, I'm sitting there. It's like, oh, you're not a. I was like, wait a minute, my shit is always lined up. You mean to tell me? And I thought,
she is always lined up.
Yeah, the heart chakra sort of fucked up my solar plexus. And now here's off. And so I'm like, damn, so how did, to even go through and be able to try to find the solutions? And sometimes we try to do this shit by ourselves. And sometimes we try to do this shit one-sided, which was why it was perfect to be like, hey, Duka, hey, Nick, hey, Crystal, like, I'm gonna need y'all to come in, and we got to work through this energy a little bit, because I sort of felt everybody going through this, looking for a quarantine bae. And I was like, oh, we're going to all find us a boo, and then we're going to all be fucked up come June. We're going to be in the middle of hot girl summer, spazzing out. Because me, hey, part of my solution and my healing is, hey, if you can't deal with me spazzing out on you for the first 30 to 60, maybe 90 days, then, hey, you may want to do this at the best way you can, because that's how I damn heal through my shit. I don't know. Gonna spaz out on you a little bit randomly, in me processing my damn emotions. Randomly. I don't give a damn, hey, that's just me. And I'm working on it to find better solutions, but for right now, it damn works for me.
Hey, B, I wanted to ask you this last night. So if I was your dude and I blocked you on everything, how would you go about spazzing? Like, what would the lengths you go?
Block me. Yeah, you may unfollow me, but if you block me, yeah, you gonna hear from me. You gonna hear from me. I make sure that those spots.
How they gonna hear from you? You gonna pull up?
Yeah, pull up.
That's what I'm saying. What lengths you gonna go?
We're the motherfucking team.
Yeah, block me.
You pulling up too, Lily?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, you gonna block me, because I ain't gonna be able
I'm coming up in there like Madea.
Yeah.
But that's only if we together now. If we just talking, you finna get blocked too, nigga. Just
Right
like you let me go, you gotta let go.
Wow, he said if he my man though. He said,
"You my man, I'm pulling up."
Yeah,
with my people, with my whole sisterhood.
Oh,
yes,
man.
wherever you at, and then I'm gonna work through that shit, later on. But you to let you know that you can't block me. Period. I'll still show up in the physical. You may don't see me in the physical. You may not think that.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, I pull up at your job. I pull up at your house. I pull up at your mom's house. Hey, how you doing, Miss Pat? You good? Everything good? I need to holler at your son for a few seconds, okay?
Wow.
And and that's the part of me who has been me. And honestly, I'm saying that, but just even now, I can't do things like how I used to do them. I'm being honest. I'm on here sort of joking and shit, because that's that part of myself that I want to keep. But going through this healing, within this relationship or this marriage, like this shit was totally different. As much as I would want to do that or want to be, it was only so far that I could go, and I wasn't allowed to go to those lengths like I would have usually gone. But as my first husband, yeah, I was about that life. I was real ignorant, and he was too. So hey, ignorant match ignorant. But and I'm glad that you. And let me just say this, Duka. Thank you for coming on to be able to be transparent about some real shit. I know a lot of you ladies are quiet, but are y'all relating to anything that he's saying? Let me sort of go to the group. Hold on.
Hey, Benisha, a lot of people are speaking in the chat. So
Okay,
as you guys are talking, yeah, so we got like a lot.
Okay, can you run it down for us, Chantel?
Yeah.
This one up. I was like, wait, that's too much.
I know Shannon at the top, she just gave a shout out to Nick she said, Nick, I'm glad that helping you is helping everyone else. Mo said, how it took her out. One of the things I think they were responding to Duka, Indigo, she was like, never got love as a kid. I think she says, I think I go overboard with my daughter to make up for what I lacked.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And
Absolutely.
What do you got to say to that, Duka?
I'm like that with mine too. And like I had mentioned last night, it was so bad for me that it wasn't until, and I'm just being transparent, it wasn't until I had my baby girl that women were actually human and I know they had feelings. Like, it wasn't until I held her in my arms like, damn, and she grabbing my beard and loving on me, Daddy, I love you. And now I'm just soft as ever. So, before, now I won't even have sex with women until, somebody asked me was I gay. I'm like, we done cuddle for 3 months. But it's just, I know I'm not ready to take it where you may be trying to take it. And I don't want to take that part from you. That's why I'm at in life. I feel like it's a lot easier for two people to walk away if they haven't had sex. It's when you do have sex, it's like, man, you just did that to me. Having my daughter, it really changed me on a level of, now I believe in karma, like hard. Like, so I don't want what I put someone else's daughter through, for me to be her 16 and she crying, or she 22 and crying, or hell 30 and crying. And I know, I might have to pay for some of the stuff I did, but I just look at it different now. And I love on them because it's something I didn't get. And like I told my daddy last week, without giving it to me, you gave it to me, and that's where I'm at now. Like, me and my babies have the best relationship ever, to where their mom was like, damn, why they like that with you? And it's because it's genuine love. Like, I don't love them just because I'm daddy and I have to. No, I love them because I need their love just as much as they need mine. And to get to that point where it's an accomplishment for me. So I had to go back to my daddy and say, man, I love you. I never told him that. Like, I never told him. shit, my mama's still living and we don't have a relationship. And I know how that hurt. And I don't want that for my babies. So shit, you know, if I'm being too soft with them, so be it. But I've been too hard all my life. This is the time, you know. So
one of the
it's
things
the time.
Karina was talking about, she was talking about when you had brought up the word toxic. She said toxic, I mean, for her means when we bring out the worst of each other, when you have to dim your light so others can feel better about themselves. You know,
that's a good
That's dope. That's dope.
I feel that, Karina. Y'all really, I'm talking about everybody's like tuned in. Everybody's face is like this when I'm going through looking at it, like, I'm looking. I was like, okay, this is what's up. What else we got on there, Chantel, real quick?
I know Leilani, she had said there's a difference between, we were talking about, you know, going back and forth and being toxic or whatever. And she said there's a difference between arguing and talking it out. Usually when you argue, no one is listening to the other person. A conversation should be, you know, I'm assuming she said sacred. She means sacred, shared.
My bad. Me typing fast ain't working. But nah, it should be shared. Like we were talking about, Chantel was talking about when sometimes you need to be
Why
raw
is it so low?
and saying your feelings. And I'm saying, have we ever thought about recording our conversations when we are raw and in the moment, and then coming back and discussing it again later on? Because sometimes in arguments, it's hard to, sometimes in the heat of the moment, it's hard to see the other person's point of view because all you feeling is your own feelings. But if you have a chance to be raw in that moment so that person knows exactly how you feel, but then you're able to play it back to be able to hear their side. Like a lot of times, you know, perception is everything. And we don't take enough time to look at the other person's point of view. It's mostly what I'm trying to get across in that moment. So I feel like if we play it back and we take the time versus always walking away, because I love to walk away and then come back and have a conversation. I realize that's my problem in relationships. The people be wanting to talk about it right now. And I be like, if I talk about it right now, I'm hurt your feelings. So let me go and get me together real quick. But if I'm able to be raw, but be adult enough to not hit below the belt in that moment, like, you know, it just depends. But yeah, I think we should be able to have those raw moments, but then come back and revisit.
Raw moments, I feel like are, you know, necessary. A lot of times, and one of the things that I said, I think Michi did too, is sometimes saying it in the moment, because, you know, for those of us that are people pleasers, when we leave and think about it, we might never speak up for ourselves. You know, we might just stay gone and not come back. And so sometimes some of us need to
figure out how to sugarcoat it.
Or figure out how to, you know, you done replayed it like 50, 11 times in your mind. So there's a Moto E5, I don't know what your name is, but he's actually responding to Duka as well. He said, bruh, that stand up wise shit to say and do what you said about having sex. This life is trial and error, and we find out things ourselves, or some of us just stay stuck where we are and there's no change, or it gets worse. And he says, salute. And I want to co-sign, as Mo actually said there earlier too.
Appreciate it, bro. Appreciate it.
Mo said that people are finding that they don't even like their significant others in this quarantine because they stuck in the house. You know, so these, you know, Vanessa, she's also said awesome testimony. Duka, being emotionally unavailable is toxic to the person who wants and needs to know what you're thinking or feeling. That's dope, Vanessa.
So is that saying the like me shutting down, that's what made me toxic?
To a person who
just for a better understanding, I'm not trying to debate you.
To a person who needs, for a person who needs to know what you're thinking or feeling. That's what she was saying, to the person who needs to know. I think it's very critical for us to always work at what the better version of ourselves look like. Because even though, you know, you may feel at this point, like, you know, like, hey, like, that's what I do. I don't want to, you know, you know, talk about it. Like, why do you not want to talk about it? When you go into really working on healing the deeper aspects of the traumas that you dealt with that led you to actually saying, hey, I don't want to talk about it. Where is that coming from? Is it stemming from something you know, in
Oh,
your
yeah. Now it's I talk now. And, you know,
yeah.
it was for me. I hated the blame game. Like we're not accomplishing nothing. Well,
Mhm.
you did it's tit for tat. You know, you did this one and you did that, and I think somebody said nobody's listening. So, and for the fact, like, it take me to a place where a verbal dispute. I've always been violent, but for a woman, it's more verbal because I can't touch you. So,
Mhm.
but I've learned that physical abuse. I hope I'm not disrespecting nobody. Mental abuse lasts longer than physical abuse, in my opinion. Because I can remember something that you told me when I was 8, and we 30 now, and I still look at you like, oh yeah, you did me that. Although you might have punched me in my shoulder, that healed. But what you
Mhm.
said that I was never gonna be shit, I still remember you saying that. So when I say I don't want to talk, I literally despise having to come back and say, man, you know, I'm sorry I said that to you. But in the moment, I wasn't sorry. I'm only sorry for how, you know, although I meant what I said, but I'm sorry for how it made you feel. But at that time, I'm like, can you walk away? Can you get away from me? I don't want to talk right now. And you're steady saying, well, talk to me, talk to me. And then it comes out as, you know, I was the type of person to say, fuck you, although I really want to say I love you. It never came out as that. It was always, get me, you know, I want to hug you, man. Get the fuck away from me. Blah, man, you know. But that's how it was presented to me for the better half of my life. Like I told you last night, my mother set my daddy on fire at 10 in front of me, and he took her back. So I'm thinking, damn, if that won't separate, you know, like maybe this is how this is supposed to go. And I ruined so many relationships like that. You know, we wasn't setting people on fire, but you know, it was it was the arguing it was maxed out, screaming, yelling, and fuck you, and man, that ain't no way to live. Like, I don't want that. So now, yeah, come here, babe. Let's talk about this. And first of all, you know, I can't tell you how to feel. And that was my thing. You shouldn't feel that way, man. It ain't that bad. Cause I done been through the worst of the worst. And if I said something to you and it made you feel like that, I'm like, man, damn shit, you soft. But I had to grow out of that. And I'm just being honest. I nothing soft. I didn't like it. I literally still to this day hate the fact that I laugh at pain. I laugh at it. Like I don't know why. I'm not some tough guy. I just laugh at pain. I don't know. I cut myself, I laugh. Stump my toe, I laugh. I see somebody crying, I'm like, damn, why the fuck is you crying for? Because of what I've been through. And it wasn't until last night when you said, it really opened my eyes. You like, you can't tell me how long it takes for me to heal. I'm like, damn, healing don't have a time limit. And that really helped me last night because I never looked at it like that. You know, so I mean,
Last night, Candid Conversations was really good. And I literally got messages up until like about 4 o'clock this morning, which I know I'll be like, I'm so glad y'all don't have nobody, because if you text me, I'm texting you back, or if it's something in the middle of the night, I'm sending people messages. I'll be like, hey, you know, just hit me back when you get it. But right now it's on my mind. But I got, honestly, Duka, you got a lot of feedback where it
I'm in
was really
trouble.
appreciative. No, it was good. Like, they were really appreciative of some stuff that you said, and I got to forward you some stuff from JoJo, because JoJo went and researched the whole damn book, and he's like, show bro this piece out the book. I was like, okay, I'm gonna connect you to, because it was really good. It was really good energy. That's why I say right now, this time of where we're at is really allowing a lot of healing to take place, and really allowing us to truly get to the parts of ourselves that we may have not dealt with, you know, in our traumas, or even just been too busy. You know, honestly, some of us will make ourselves too busy to actually, you know, address our shit, and we'll blame it on that. But when you, and especially if you're moving, you know, like Nick, you know, shit, all of this, and I know how Nick feel. all of life hit like when she was moving. And you know, I gotta keep up with that flow, because you really have people depending on you to show up. And so you can't just drop everything and be like, okay, I'm gonna drop everything and just work on me. When you have a whole tribe of people that fuck with you and you fuck with them, and they depending on you to sort of get through their shit too.
Yeah.
And so I'm like,
Right
now
on.
I'm up here looking back. I was like, damn, I know what Nick was dealing with, because you trying to push through it. And then you have those moments where you just want to just like say, man, fuck all of this right now. Like, I need to do something for myself. That's why it's very important. And I know for men, it's sort of hard for y'all to have this. Like, you don't see, you know, I commend you, Duka, because you coming in and to be that transparent, but it's not a lot of moments where men are willing to risk every detail like that. Y'all aren't willing to do that, because that makes you have to be vulnerable, or for society to deem you as soft or weak or this or that. And we need for y'all to start working on y'all shit. Like, we really need that.
I mean, it's. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Is my father said, son, you have no more to prove. And that right there, it took me 10 years to figure out what he was saying. In every room I walked in, I had to be the big dog. You know, I mean, because I carry that kind of attention. Now that I know, like you said, I've really broke myself down. And every room I've went in, it's the crowd drew to me, and I'm just standing in the corner. And I thought I had to prove to people who I was. I thought I had to prove to a woman, I don't need you. I thought I had to prove to a woman, you are an option. You would never, you know, you would never get me to a point where you know everything about me and you can use that against me. But I had, in this life, the only thing I have to prove is how good of a father I can be to my kids. So me being vulnerable now to y'all, if y'all look at me like, oh, that nigga soft, cool. That's what's up. You know, and I'm not saying that y'all, I'm just speaking in general. And, you know, if I was speaking out loud to somebody, man, you soft, bet, bro, come over and prove it. You come do something about that. Oh, man, you know, and it was one day what really made me bottled up. I had probably about 5 years ago, the post R.E.D, it was something similar to that. And it was one girl in the comments, she was like, see, that's what's wrong, weak ass black man. I was like, damn. So it's like, this is how we view it, is me being vulnerable. I base my whole shit off of one opinion of a miserable woman. Like, to a point where I stopped talking. So, you know, like, I didn't ever want to be viewed as weak. But now I don't care how you view me. It's how I view myself. And that's what I fell in love with, me. Like, and I was told I was toxic for choosing me. Like that, I don't want to fight.
Most said, now that vulnerability is strength. We getting a whole lot of
absolutely.
We getting a whole lot of positive feedback from the side. Chantel said, "You speaking the truth. It's so much power in vulnerability." And
right on.
Being yourself is definitely a new world. Yes, that came from Veda. Honey, yes, choosing you is powerful. That's right, Ashiki. Because so many times we allow everybody to choose us for us. You know, you don't get to choose me for me. And whatever that looks like is whatever that looks like. And sometimes we have to be willing to be real unapologetic with that. And even still, especially like I know Duka, Duka do a lot. Duka's an actor. He has an amazing artist. Yeah, she's freaking amazing. And so when you are in those positions, sometimes, you know, that vulnerability is something that you really have to be, how can I say that? I had to really be okay with that. I had to really find my strength in my vulnerability. And not be truly honest, and it's part of the reason why Fuck That Shit University is real life name Fuck That Shit.
That's so dope.
Yeah, and it's crazy because so many people
but
like,
yeah, I didn't want nobody to use my vulnerabilities against me. That was the biggest thing. Like, I never wanted to
And I
share
think some people
anything, you know.
do that. Even, and I'm gonna have a moment of reflection to see if I've ever, if that has been me, but I definitely think that happens a lot, which will cause for people to shut down.
Yeah, I think we all have done it. Like I think we've all used some shit against the person we love. So I hope I'm not appearing perfect, and I'm not saying I am, but I just didn't want the shit done to me. So even though I was doing it, I ain't want it done to me. And man, it's great. Like this
I
group.
got one more question for you, Duka,
Yes,
before
ma'am.
I get Nick to sort of start running us down
Okay.
what these solutions look like. And also, I want you to share that assignment. Okay, so I don't know if we exactly started, if we talked about the part, but I really want to make sure that we make this clear. And ladies, I know it's more of us online than it is men. I know we do have a few brothers on, but it's really important that we have an understanding of his viewpoint for us in the sense of not just relationships, but as a mother, raising sons. So it's very important that we sort of make sure that we're taking note on a lot of what's being said. But I want to know how you started to heal from the things that you encountered, but also gave out. Like what was some of the things that you realistically did for yourself that has been effective in your healing journey?
Oh, self-accountability, no doubt. Instead of blaming others, it was definitely, man, you ain't have to do that.
Yeah.
Man, but and my father, he's so tough on me. Like, just for an example, I can be like, man, Pops, she taking me back to court. You be saying shit like, yeah, you cheated on her. You know what I'm saying? So it's not, instead of making excuses, it's accepting life for what you've done. Accepting everything that come with every choice I ever made. And I'm cool with that now. Like, whatever come with the decisions I chose to do, it's self-accountability for me. That's the only thing that's been helping me. Hell, for somebody I know I ain't had nothing to do with. If I'm a part of that situation, bet I done that. I move on. I shouldn't have been there. Cool. And that's been a big help for me. And being accountable to me first versus last after I done blamed everybody. But being accountable to me first, and that's the one thing that started the healing for me. And so because like I told y'all last night, I used to want peace, but I was the one causing hell. And once you realize that, that's kind of easy to change, although the habits are hard to break. But isolation done it for me too. Understanding like, nah, I'm not gonna deal with no woman right now. I'm not, I'm not, because for me, women were pacifiers to the shit I was going through. So it was like, switching pacifier. When one got a hold in, you go to the next. And I saw my baby do that. You say the pacifier had a hole in it, and she would not use that pacifier. And I'm like, damn, I've been doing that part my whole life. And it's just being honest. Like, I still got a long way to go. Like I told Mo on that post, I got a long way to go. But I know now where I want to go. And that's what made it easy.
Yeah, that's real. Chantel, you want to update us real quick on the
Yeah, it's like, well, shout out to everybody in the chat. Like, it's like lit over here.
We were at 55 actually. That's what's up.
We do have a sister in here. Like, I'm trying to get back to it today. It's her first time being in here. I'll find it. But one thing, B. Robertson, one of the brothers in the group, he was like, in everything, it's a balance. With it requires understanding of those balances. It would be nice if we as people in general get that we are all different, in which we do different and take time differently. This life doesn't allow that as a collective. It would allow the individual, if that was the case, it would allow the individual work to be done. I think that was dope. That he said that one of the things, Leilani, she was like, I think my biggest problem is instead of feeling like people can hurt me or call me out, I call myself out. I put me down first to not feel like I'm hurt or you have the power of hurting me. And I think, you know, when he was talking about vulnerability, that was really, really, really dope. One of the things, Indigo, she said, as a lesbian woman, I usually don't care about hearing a man speak about relationships. She says, really her honesty, but bruh, she said, this is great. You are refreshing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. It's I'm a literally, it's so many freaking good comments over here on the side. Damn. Go give me about 2 more, Chantel.
B. Robertson, another thing he said, what is toxic is our misunderstanding of what is supposed to be. We don't know fully of each other's role as male and female, and we dog each other for it. There is a such thing as too much on things, but show me where the wrong is and don't shit on me, generally speaking, by lowering someone further than they already feel. I'm gonna read that last thing that he said. He said, but don't shit. He was like, but show me where the wrong is and don't shit on me, generally speaking, by lowering someone further than they already feel. Yo, bro, you wanna go ahead.
No, I was saying it's like somebody already feel low. As a dude, like a lot of times again, we have a misunderstanding like who we're supposed to be, like the brother was speaking. You're supposed to be this hard-nosed dude. No crying, no this, no weakness or that. But some of that shit need to be let out is what I'm saying. And what we do is people, like, okay, like he had, the example he mentioned was, you know, yeah, a woman shit, oh, you a weak-ass dude or something. That's the shitting on me part. And we'll say the same thing, man, yo, sorry-ass female or something. And that's why I'm speaking in general. We don't need to shit on each other. You know what I'm saying? If we knew about it, we really knew what was going on, whatever, we wouldn't have to worry about doing all that. And I was just saying all that back and forth because of the misunderstanding. Because what we don't know is about this life period, in my opinion. We don't know what we're supposed to be. It ain't no cut and dry. Everybody trying to figure shit out. And being that we raised in one area, raised in one particular family, one type of idea, religious-wise and everything else, that's what we have understanding of. And so, like, say, for instance, say I could be, you know, a Christian and talking to a Muslim. I can understand that you're different, and the vice versa. But take time to understand, okay, these are your values and blah, 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 whatever, and then we build from there is what I'm saying, what we ought to do, though. Instead of just shitting on, man, y'all, like most times, as far as religious go, it's always, I keep going back saying shitting on them. It's always shitting on one or the other. And if we do that as just men and women, and we never can come together in the first place. So that's what I'm saying as far as the shitting on. So rather than do that, go sit down and break it down first. Okay, where you feel I'm wrong at, sister, or tell me about it, brother. Why is it so weak? So you can get to understanding. Understanding is a motherfucker. You know what I mean? So you go get that first, and then we'll build from there. Instead of just letting me sit there, you know what I mean? You call me weak, well, after a while, they're going to build me up to do something to you or do something to myself that you're going to see on the news. Be like, yo, what the fuck? Okay, I tried to tell you before. I just wanted to hear what it was rather than when you shooting them. That's what I'm talking about.
And I also, and what you said is definitely important, but this is
Right on.
This is why platforms like this are important as well. But you have to find what you need for yourself to not allow those low moments to just be consistently low. And especially when you are in relationships, or when you know, or you are living, or you boyfriend, girlfriend. For me, I can't take a person at consistent low moments, because and just being honest, I have to start saying, hey, let's try this, you know, be resourceful. You know, so I say that too, you know, be resourceful for yourself, but also utilize the resources that you just may have around you, because that energy, that low energy, can sink another person in at the same time, and then you both are fucking low, and now it's not gonna flow well either. One of the things that I need for the brothers to do is to definitely start seeking solutions. The women or out here, and I'm not gonna say this is every brother, but I'm saying you got a lot of female energy that's saying, hey, I'm finna figure this shit out. We rarely have had any type of men at Sold Out Sunday, period. And we don't say that this is for women or for men. It's for whomever shows up. But you don't really hear a lot about, even if you don't show up to Sold Out Sunday, you rarely hear about spaces that are being created for men to have them something where they can go to and have a real live conversation like you were sort of flowing us through, Duka. Or even more, the dads not showing up like how your dads are showing up. So some of y'all some men will tend to use the fact of that they fucked up or that they was in some fucked up shit as an excuse. No, you don't keep living inside of that excuse and think that I'm gonna fuck with you like that. No, at some point in time, it will create, here goes that word, toxicity.
100.
Did I say it's gonna create some toxic shit? Because if one person is working on themselves unapologetically, removing fear, religion to me is just fear. You know that you fucked up. You know that you need to fix some shit about yourself. I pull a little bit from all of the religions, if you ask me, because at any given day, I don't care what nobody say, I will sling out my Bible and read a scripture and remove a curse and send some out if you think that you're gonna play with me. So I don't think that any of it is, it's what you give and what you take, and the decisions that somebody said something over here. They said decisions, choices, and something. It's a decision that you have to make. And honestly, brothers, we need for you all to start making some decisions. That excuse of, this is who I am, this is, I grew up watching this, or I grew up. Okay, yeah, so did I. We all got every last single person that's on here has some fucked up shit that they have had to deal with. And if you saying that you didn't, you're lying. All of us have experienced something traumatic that makes us make poor decisions at some point in time of our life. But it's up to us to make that decision also to say, I'm gonna do something effective about it. And every single day, I wake up and think about how I can be a better Benisha. What is it that I can implement? Is my obedience exactly where it needs to be so that I can level myself up? Even in real quick on this religious thing.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Chantel. She froze.
Benisha, something is wrong on her part. If she's frozen.
Hold on, y'all. Give me a second. Duka, just if you can go ahead. She was about to go in too. You can talk.
She was about to go.
Yeah, she was about to go.
Yeah, that face looked like it was about to go down.
Like, wait a minute.
You said religion and they cut her off.
Let me. I'm gonna read. Michi, if you can text her real quick, let her know, because I don't know if she's there. She goes. She just popped out. Okay, she'll probably.
Yeah.
Okay.
She'll probably.
It was me. I'm sorry, y'all.
Okay.
There she go.
My internet been acting stupid, but I was saying that Crystal and I have had so many prayer calls, and I wasn't. And at that point in time, I think I was way more religious than I was spiritual, and those prayer calls were definitely needed. And when I say we definitely needed, we definitely needed that. And so I appreciate Crystal for even jumping on, because Crystal is hey, that's my Christian friend, and that's just what that is, and I don't even give myself a title of anything anymore. But Crystal is my Christian friend, and she's also my friend that's gonna listen to us some Jeezy, and she's also my friend that's gonna step up. And so who's also gonna keep it honest and keep it cute and keep it classy, but be straight right there in the hood with you, experiencing some shit, telling about some real. And she has an amazing story. Like, I really don't even have time to go into the details of that, but she has an amazing story. You guys go onto crystalpofficial.com and subscribe to her page and just sort of follow her journey. as she sort of talks about some of the things that she has dealt with, you know, in her own life, her own traumas, in how she's gotten through that. So Crystal, I know you're on. Thank you so much for jumping on, and even more so coming in. She's gonna pray us up out of here. But Duka, real live, give the homework assignment, and then we're gonna have Nick come in and sort of give us some solutions on this alignment and some meditation real quick. The homework assignment both about the love letter. I know Chantel loved this old writing shit, you know. Chantel, I was like, Chantel gonna be all the way for this whole thing right here. So.
I'm ready.
So basically, it's no more than just the person you are now, telling the person that you're trying to change and become, you know, telling the person that you've changed from, what it is you think love is. And whenever you think love is, you're going to tell yourself that. And whatever you put down on that paper, if you know what you're not going to accept from future people, what you're not going to accept from yourself, and it got to cover all of that. But I want the first, however long it may be, I think mine was maybe like, it was long, but it went into addressing the things that hurt me, the things that I bottled up, and just get deep with yourself, real and honest with yourself. But overall, tell yourself you love yourself, and in the end, walk yourself through your journey. But in the end, it needs to be about what love is to you and how you're gonna better yourself with loving yourself and others. That was the assignment that I gave them all. And it was given to me by my grandmother. So, and yeah, she's holier than everybody.
I absolutely love that. If you guys want to share some of those assignments with Duka, are you willing for them to share their love letters with you?
I think I'm muted. Yeah, I can even send mine out to give an example. I'm not, like I said, I don't have anything to hide. It might make you cry. It made me cry, but yeah, just I don't know about the chat that's going on, but just I guess shoot me a DM or whatever.
Can you take them from your email?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So it's just speak on it Duka at Gmail, straight through. Speak on it DUKA at Gmail.
Okay, Chantel, drop that off inside the chat. And then maybe we'll try to see if we can set up something with you again to go over those love letters. That'll be good. Would you be willing to come back?
Anytime you need me. This has been refreshing and beautiful.
I appreciate you so much.
Right.
Yeah, I don't. I always say I always have the blessing of meeting good people. Like his energy has been amazing from the very beginning and truly authentic. And it just feels, I love to have people where it feel regular with. It feels like I've been having Duka around a long time. So,
you said it's men on here?
What's been on here? So
you
that's
said it's some men on here now?
Yeah, we only had, I think, did he hang up B. Robertson?
Yeah, B is still here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, B. Robertson.
It ain't I'm not disregarding the ladies, but I really would love for my brother to do it, because we kind of like, I get it. Black women are everything. They run the world, and I'm with that. But I feel like us as black men gotta elevate. We gotta elevate and love on each other more. So, brother, I would really love for you to do that. And I even link up with you after all this 6 feet shit over with, and chop it up with you, bro, because I'm trying to meet, positive individual black men myself, because it keeps me grounded. So if you cool with that, brother, man, we can link after this,
Yeah, that's what's up.
Brotherhood box. I've been seeing this for a long time. I just knew that this was happening, and we definitely need that. So make sure, B. Robertson, if you'll put your email in there too, That way we can make sure that we exchange you guys' information for you guys to stay in contact and continue to push this this healing male energy out into, you know, our communities. I definitely appreciate that.
For
Duka.
sure.
Yeah. Okay. Nick, how you feeling?
I'm feeling good.
Yeah, that was some good
We
shit.
ready. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
It's going down this morning.
Okay. I know Nick definitely in the sense of, you know, thinking about this heart healing in this healing journey period. Nick has her own story. You wanna and tell them a little bit about who you are. I call her my bougie sister.
Your what, sister?
Bougie. I
There
always
you go.
she real bougie. Now look at her this morning in a white t-shirt that's a polo shirt.
It's blue.
What? Oh, well, excuse me, but it's a polo shirt. You know, I absolutely love Nick though, and I appreciate having her here, a part of this journey. Nick is one of our FDSU professors. Nick is also our meditation guru. One of, you know, we're lucky to have, you know, her and Nikki both right here. Nick teaches the crystals and chakra class, and it's so important. And I know a lot of your students are on, and so they have given her so much praise about how effective her class has been. And I know this is outside of the university. She's going to do something in the summer. I definitely let's make sure we put Nick's information down here too. You definitely want to understand how the crystals, how the things that God created for us to heal ourselves sort of lines in together, because man, it's amazing just how you can look at something as a rock one day and then to truly feel the energy of it and be like, nah, this is not just a rock, you know.
Not just a rock.
No, God
You even get offended when people call them rocks.
Don't you? It's not no rock, bro. No, this is powerful right here. You literally feel the energy from some of these, you know, from these things that God has created to heal ourselves. And so it's very important that you tap into this part in your journey, because we have everything that we need to heal ourselves. And so Nick, tell them who you are.
I think you already
I did.
Oh, anyway,
Tell
you
them about
guys.
your healing jewelry, though. I didn't say anything about jeweled and divine. I didn't talk.
Okay, yeah. So, like she said, I do teach a class on chakras and crystals, and so I fell in love with crystals many years ago. And one day I was in a crystal store and I saw these beads, and I was like, wait a minute, can I wear crystals? And so I started making these bracelets and stuff for myself. And so when I started making them for myself, everybody was asking me for them. And so I just turned it into a whole business. And so my business, crystal jewelry business, is called Jeweled and Divine. And so that's that. And it's at jeweled_and_divine on Instagram. And you can Jeweled and Divine on Facebook as well.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm a metaphysician. I commune with angels. I love doing meditation groups. We just did a global meditation last night, the 444 one. It was amazing. Right now
on your live, let them know about that they can go and replay that.
Oh yeah, y'all can still get that energy in. It's on my page, which is El Nikol. My Facebook page is El Nikol, which is EL_, well, it's not underscore on Facebook. EL space NIKOL. EL space NIKOL. And so that live meditation is still there at the top on my page. You guys want to go through that energy. It was a call for 1 million people to meditate last night, all at the same time. And it was really beautiful. So y'all go and catch that energy. Y'all still do that meditation. We still need that healing to keep pushing on the planet.
Yeah.
So I'm supposed to be talking about the chakra, and there's so much to be said and there's so much to do, but we're going to bring it down to really what we're talking about today. I think one of the most important things to discuss is that when you go into looking at the heart, first of all, the heart chakra, the chakra system is our body's energy system, going from our humanity and what makes us human to the crossroads, which is the heart, and then to the upper chakras, which is our God self. So the heart is the crossroads coming from the embodiment of our humanity into the enlightenment of our God self. And so that going up and understanding and learning the chakras is like the ladder to the God that you know, everybody walk around and call themselves gods and goddesses, but have you really done the work to be that? And so it's really significant that you started, even if you think you got it going on, if you do chakra work, that you start at that root chakra and go all the way up that ladder. But right now we're gonna talk about the heart chakra. And not so much as when you talk about, not so much as the heart chakra being where you have compassion for others and forgive others and trust others, but more so the aspect of you having that for yourself, the forgiveness of yourself, to be able to look at yourself. And you guys were talking about vulnerability earlier. What I found was it was easy for me to be vulnerable with other people, to put my feelings on my sleeve and just, you know, be all open to receiving everything about them and all this type of stuff. But when it came time for me to be vulnerable with myself, that's what was difficult for me. When it was time for me to be, to look at myself and see the toxic things within myself, those are the things that were difficult for me. And so to be able to look at yourself, to evaluate yourself, to look at all of your flaws, any of your shortcomings, whatever, you know, your whole body, everything, what all of that looks like, that's real heart chakra work. When you go in and try to and accept really who you are. One of the other things I wanted to touch on was being able to release your parents of their duties. A lot of us still, you know, at this point, anybody that is really on a healing journey know that they were you programmed by your parents. Everybody already knows that. We're programmed by our parents. We're programmed by, you know, our society and sometimes relationships that we've been in also. But to be able to go in and really release your parents from their duties, because at this point in your life, you have to go and look and see what, you know, if your parents were 20 or 21 when they had you, I mean, look at your life and where were you and what were you doing at 20 and 21, and see how that matches up with what you feel like, you know, your parents may have incorrectly programmed into you. To be able to go in and just really tell, not necessarily that you have to go and tell your parents or have a conversation with them. You can do that. But I think the most important part is that you within yourself release them of blaming them for something in your life, that you release them from being on the hook for everything that you are or everything that you're not. And just to be able to go in and just release them and stand on your own, start standing on your own 2 feet, start standing standing in your own power. And then the last thing I wanted to talk about was relationships. This is a you know, as a lot of people, the closer people around me know, I was in a 9-year relationship that was very, very difficult. I wouldn't say all nine years were difficult, but it was a very emotionally abusive relationship. And you have to understand, just like the brother was saying earlier, you know, I didn't never get no physical altercations. I was never, you know, thrown against no walls or nothing like that. But when your voice is taken away from you, when, you know, anything that you say is misunderstood by the other person, when you try to have a conversation and that other person just comes back at you and blames you, make you feel bad for how you feel about it. I mean, all of those things can really, really make you docile. But what I want to say about the relationship is I will never take from it the importance And the reason why I say that the relationship was important is because it was where I did my real spiritual work. It was where I really, really began to meditate. I really began to study and understand what was going on in the universe, you know, really just to get into spiritual gifts and stuff. I didn't have nothing else to do. I had to escape. It was an escape for me half the time. But, you know, and then outside of that, you can always blame somebody for something. But outside of that, then I could begin to look at myself and see the parts that I played in it. And so that's what I meant by being able to look at the toxicity within yourself as well. But I went to this, in all of this, all we really got to do is we can go for a walk, we can go outside, all that kind of stuff. So I wanted to tell you a story about me going, I went on a walk and I found this tree, this pink tree. And it kept calling me, so I went to it. And I was given the name Mabel, that this tree was called Mabel. And what intrigued me is that that's the name of my cousin's mom. And so it's one of my ancestors, but I had never met her. So it was intriguing to me. But I went to this tree. And so, you know, I talked or whatever. And the next day I was going to go give an offering. I was like, oh, okay, well, I think I'll go give offering to like my ancestors and stuff at this tree. And so when I was getting everything together, I had scooped up some of the intentions and some of the releasing things because, you know, I burn them in this bowl. So I had scooped all the ashes up, put them in a bag. I said, I'm gonna go down here and we're gonna talk and I'm gonna bury all of these ashes and all this stuff. And I had started writing down a list of, I said, hey, I got me a pink crystal. And I said, I you know, I'm gonna just say that this is what I want in someone and I'm gonna bury that with it. And then I heard my ancestors say, don't you bring your ass down here to that tree until you really, really know what you want. And I was like, but I know what I want. And, you know, it's more and more and more to that story. But the bottom line is this. It's when you're looking for a mate, I think that it's important that you find yourself first. And what I mean by that is all of the things. This is even an exercise for you. Go through and look at all of the things, just write it down, every single thing that you are looking for in a mate, and see if you can find those things in yourself. See if you're delivering those things, if you have those things to bring to the table, if that's something that you are delivering or you are able to deliver. And if those things are something that you're able to deliver, then you can attract those things to yourself. But if you ain't putting it out, how are you going to expect somebody to deliver it to you? If it's you got this whole list of stuff that somebody has to be for you, but you can't even give it out, you're not giving the same thing. Make a list of the things that you want in someone else, and then scratch someone else out and put your name at the top. And with that, you start working on yourself first. And that's going to bring you to, you know, like initially what I was saying about really evaluating yourself, really understanding your flaws or your shortcomings and your strengths. So this is a little bit of real chakra work, something that I give out, the color for the heart chakras, green. I use green candles. I use green crystals, green aventurine. This is malachite. There's some others, pink rose quartz. So there are many different crystals, you know, all of that. Like Benisha was saying, I'm going to be doing a chakra class in the summer. I like to teach in person, but I don't know, I'm learning this online thing, you know, so it's going pretty good. It's going pretty good with the online thing. So we might do that also. But the way that I do chakra work, I go into a meditation with all of the green stuff. You can use pink as well. You can use both of them. And, you know, I go in with the intention of understanding, wanting to more understand myself, who I am, and accepting myself. And with going into it with forgiveness. Because we have to be able to go and forgive ourselves. It's really, forgiveness for other people is good, but it should come after you forgiving yourself. And sometimes that's the hardest things for us, really for us to do, is really forgive ourselves. I don't know. I know we're running low on the time, but I wanted to get those 3 aspects in. Let me know, Benisha, is there something else you wanted me to touch on before the meditation?
No. Is there, for those of you all who are looking for tools, like, do you have any bracelets or with those particular crystals to help, because a lot of us are at home, and so we are needing to make sure that we, have our tools available. So
yeah, right now, honestly, I'm gonna make a trip to the post office Monday, tomorrow, and that's gonna be it for a minute until I get another postal solution, just because, I have a few at-risk things going on with me, so I don't really want to keep getting out to the post office and stuff like that. So I'm doing a real big push Monday with all the stuff that's already been sold. So as soon as I do have jewelry for heart chakra, all the chakras, all of that. But as soon as I'm thinking about getting one of the postal things where I can do the postage myself and just kind of give it to the postman, opposed to having to go to the post office. So when I get that solution together, I'll be back on point.
Okay. Yeah, I'll make sure y'all stay connected. I know her jewelry page is Jeweled and Divine. Chantel already posted the link for the yesterday's meditation. I'm also going to follow back up with the email that'll come back specifically to you guys, because we have some amazing stuff that everybody who has been on here today, that a lot of this community is making sure that we want to push out and get to you. So I'll put all of her information in regards to the class this summer, as well as the links to be able to stay connected with her, so that when she does decide that she's back out pushing those, her bracelets and her, I know it's bracelets and earrings and necklaces now. That you guys have that. So thank you, Nick, for that. No, I'm completely ready for meditation. Crystal, I know you're on. Immediately after we come out of the meditation, we're going to go right into hold on, we got a question too.
Yeah.
Right after we're done with Nick's meditation, we'll go right into Crystal, into doing the prayer. But really quick, Nikisha said, what would you say is the proper process of forgiving yourself? Or just maybe more so not a proper process, because I think a lot of it looks differently, but what are some things that you can suggest for the forgiveness of self?
You have to start with accepting things for what they are. The first thing is accepting things for what they are, not believing that things should be different or wishing things would not have happened. It's already happened. It is what it is. First thing is acceptance.
Yeah, that's
understanding what happened. Once you understand what happened, once you accept what's happened, then you can begin to forgive. But the first thing, internet unstable. Okay, y'all can still hear me and stuff? Okay, cool. But the first step is to just really look at the situation, what you were responsible for, how you could have done anything different, but not in an aspect of blaming yourself or blaming anyone else, but really understanding what the situation was and accepting. Once you accept, then you can change something. But the biggest part of us not being able to forgive ourselves, I think, is not really understanding what happened and just not accepting it. It is what it is. Shit's happened, and once we really get that, once we really get that and put that in our mind and put that in our heart, then we can go in and begin to forgive ourselves.
And a lot of what I've endured has made me who I am. So I have to come back and find gratitude in that. One last thing. What if someone isn't respecting your healing, like constantly interrupting your space and energy? That's something, I'm going to say that's something that you allow,
Mm-hmm. And you can find you another space too. I mean, I guess it's tough right now. But yeah, it's about what we allow, when we're going to stand up for ourselves and our boundaries.
Yeah, boundaries. That word came up last night. That's a good. I'm glad you tapped in on that. Boundaries, 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 boundaries. Okay. Before Nick's getting ready to go off into the meditation, if you guys have any prayer requests, Crystal just asked that you put them over into the on the right side, I mean into the chat, so that she can make sure that she's touching bases with that. So you guys make sure that you put your prayer requests on there. And Nick, I'm ready. I know I think Melissa is on. Are you guys doing a duo today?
I wish I knew she was on. I would have. No.
Let me see. I hadn't seen, or maybe she was on, but she was on here. I saw her click in. You know, y'all come hit us with them duos real quick.
No, I got my bowl over here though.
Oh, come on then. Send us the vibrations, man. Okay, we're ready. I'm gonna mute everybody.
All right, let me have everybody to just close your eyes. And just allow your head to drop from left to right, to relax your neck, relax your jaw muscles, drop your shoulders, rest your chest muscles, rest your stomach, allow your hips to sink down into the chair or the floor. Rest your knees, rest your feet. And then take a deep breath in and exhale. Take another deep breath in and exhale. Take a deep breath in and exhale. And let's take one more deep breath in and exhale. And then I'm going to begin to count down 5 to 1. And as I begin to count down from 5 to 1, just allow your body to, with each number, go deeper and deeper into relaxation. 5, 4, 3. And at this point, just allow yourself to invite your ancestors, your archangels, your guardian angels, your spirit guides to be with you. 2, going deeper, deeper into this relaxing feeling and just noticing how good you feel right now. And 1. And now visualize in your mind's eye the white light of source energy coming through the top of your head and allowing that light to just flow down your body like liquid light or energy all the way down past your face, past your chest, past your waist, all the way down past your feet. And visualize that white light going all the way through earth to the middle of earth and wrapping itself around a huge quartz, clear quartz crystal, and then re-energizing and coming back up through your feet, back up through your waist, back up to your heart space. And then I want you to allow that white light to burst out from your heart space and surround you left to right, over your head and under your feet. And right now, take about 20 seconds to just bask in that light of source energy. And now I want you to visualize around your heart space a brilliant green light flowing into soft pink light. And just let those lights illuminate your space. And as that light is illuminating your space, I want you to take a deep breath into your heart space. Deep breath in, and then exhale. And then the next time that we take this breath in, we're going to be breathing in forgiveness, breathing in compassion, breathing in trust, breathing in healing. And then you're going to breathe out when you exhale all of that darkness or the cloudiness or the murkiness that may exist in your heart space. So let's take that deep breath in right now. Deep breath of forgiveness, compassion, and then exhale any unforgiveness, any distrust, release fear. And some people can actually see that murkiness moving away from their heart. Let's try this one more time. Take a deep breath into your heart space, breathing in forgiveness and compassion. And then exhaling any of the murkiness that surrounds your heart space. And this last time, Let's take a deep breath in and breathe in gratitude for clearing this energy, and exhale any residual energy. And right now, let's begin to just show gratitude for any energy clearing that we've experienced today. And I'm going to count up from 1 to 5. And at 5, you're going to be feeling energetic, feeling joyful, and be back in this space. 1, 2, 3, and at 3, thank your ancestors and your spirit guides and your angels that joined you. 4, begin to move your feet, your hips, wiggle your fingers, and begin to orientate yourself back to your space. And 5, open your eyes, wide awake, come back to the space that you are in. And Ashe.
Shay. Okay, Crystal, we're ready for you.
Ready. Ooh. Let me keep that energy going. If you can, breathe in the love, spiritual love of our Father, our God. Just breathe it in. That gratitude that the doctor spoke about, breathe it in. Just the gratefulness for this current place that we're sitting in right now. Just elevate your spirit to the gratitude that you have for your right now. Not thinking of how bad it is, not thinking of all the things that's happened, not thinking of all of those things we just spoke about, but just the gratitude for the great things, the current position, where your life is currently flowing to. So there's a scripture, just for the spiritual aspect of it, I would like to apply upon you. It's Matthew 9. For she said within herself, if I may but touch his garment, I shall be made whole. But Jesus turned him about, and when he saw her, he said, Daughter, be of good comfort. Thy faith had made thee whole. And the woman was made whole that hour. I want to leave that in your spirits for you to know, no matter what it is. I've seen the request here. I want you to lay those at the throne as we go before the Father. Father God, I thank you for who you are in my life. I thank you for all of the wonderful things that you are doing for everyone on this chat today. Thank you for the visionary, the speakers, the participants. I thank you for just giving us this space and opportunity to align and bring alignment for the purpose of healing. Lord, as people have come to you, we've put a lot of things out, and those things have been things such as mental stability during this time, as major changes are happening, prayers of releasing from egos and just opportunities to better themselves, removing brain fog and confusion so that individuals can focus on their healings, even those that are alone and seeking comfort, just needing prayer for mental health, strength, and clarity. Also, to be more intentional during this time and to understand the lessons, just to comprehend those things. Prayers for continued growth and protection, and for more healing, self-love, and to remove the blockages from the brain fog. And also praying for decisions on health issues. So we lay those things down at the throne of grace, and we say, forgive us if there's anything that is out of alignment. We know who you are. You're the source of our strength. You're our number one supply. And we thank you. We thank you because you hear us even now as we all gather and align our spirits as one. We thank you for your unfailing love. We thank you for perfecting our faith to believe that you hear these things and that you would give us the clarity from our meditations, from us aligning, from us healing, that we will be able to receive it. Lord, I know all of the things that are going on. It's so easy to be distracted in such a crazy world with crazy feelings, crazy passes, crazy emotions, and just the demands of our daily lives with bills and hectic things and relationships and friendships and all of those things above that we all seem to endure. Now, Lord, I'm asking today in this platform of alignment that you would give us a refresher. You would honor the refresher and give us just a push. Just as that light was just going around us as we meditated, just give us that push to just take off like a rocket from here. As we're in our alone time, that we would be hugged, those hugs that people said they couldn't embrace during this platform, that you would comfort us and love on us and hug on us and let us receive healing in those areas so that we may plant seeds into others' lives when all of this is over. Let us see our alone time as seeds that are planted for a harvest that we're going to plant in someone else's life. We thank you because this platform of healing just speaks of the testimonials of how much we've endured and you've brought us from. I myself, I witnessed so much, and I'm here in this platform of prayer and serving this capacity because of all you've done for me. It's not a talk, but it's the actions that you've provided in my life for me to see who you are. And as I plant these seeds over the kings and queens under this platform, I ask that you would honor it and that you would just see us in this very moment and just give us what we need. Hear our hearts, even things that people didn't even speak about. Hear our hearts and help us align toward the will that you have for us in the capacity of this thing called life. Let us enjoy your peace during this time of quarantine. Let us not even worry about what bill is going to be due and how we're going to get this done in the natural capacity. But let us exalt ourselves more spiritually. Let us eat better. Let us hear better. Let us speak better. Help us to see the real value in this purge, because we know it may seem bad. We may hear all of the distractions, but the danger is in the distraction. We want to allow ourselves to hear from you, to be better kings and queens, to feed our temples better things, meditations, purity. Purge us of those things that we need. Some of the things we just talked about. Oh, Father, I know that you could do it because you've done it for me. You've done it for some on this capacity, on this platform. You've allowed us to talk about what we have accomplished in this thing called life. And with all those things stated, Father, we need your power to rain down on us. Let us stand flat-footed and take stands of unity. Let the love flow through each of us. Let the strength flow in numbers. Let prosperity fall on each of us right now. Whew. Glory to God. Oh, I feel your presence, oh God. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, oh Father, for healing in the body. Where some are worried about what's going to happen with the temple. I thank you that by your stripes we're healed in this very moment. I thank you that healing is flowing from the top of our heads to the soles of our feet. Hey, glory to God. I thank you for healing taking place right now. Healing of the mind, healing of the soul, where all of that stuff is deep down in there, where we're thinking we're moving forward, but it's just the idea of what healing looks like. Dig deep inside of us to the core of our soul and let us feel your presence inside, where we're walking around empty. Let us breathe in that healing right now. Kings and queens, let's breathe in that healing right now. Step outside of yourself and breathe in the healing of the Father. Thank you, God. Thank you for healing. Thank you for this place that we are in. Thank you, oh God. Thank you. We know if we have gratitude for this very moment, some amazing things can take place. So as you shift us and transition us from where we were, we embrace the right now and we take on where we're going. Close your eyes and just imagine the next level. And through faith, let the journey of faith flow down to the core of your soul and dig out any doubt of sickness, any doubt of depression, any doubt of anxiety, any doubt of fear. Let it flow and dig it out. Pull it out, pull it out. And replace it with faith. Faith to move this mountain of sickness, of hurt, of pain. Let faith replace it. My brothers and sisters, we're reminded of the scripture. If we may touch the hem of his garment, we will be made whole. And that's us sitting in that place right now. That place where we're fearing how we're going to get to the next level. That place of that hurt, how bad it was. That's that place. But we may be made whole. Let's scoot through this crowd. Let's scoot through as she counted in those numbers. As the doctor took us through the numbers, see yourself moving through the crowd, my brothers and sisters. Ooh. Take your healing with you. Take it through. Take that pain. Hold it in your hand. Take that hurt. Take that bitterness. Take that unforgiveness as we're moving through the crowd. As she's going through the meditations and the numbers. And she counted. And we rose and we rose. Let's see ourselves moving through that crowd and connected the meditations with our worship and our faith. And let's get to the hem of that garment. Come on now, let your faith align. Let your faith meet you. It's not a game. Let your faith meet you right where you're walking through that crowd to get to the hem of that garment. Come on, take it in, whatever it is that you're holding on to, whatever that hurt is, whatever the pain is, even things that you know you've done to wrong others, take it with you. I feel that someone has something that's been on their chest because of something you've done to someone, but your pride has stood in the way. You've done something and you know it wasn't right. Let's take it with you. And after today, let it go. We're almost there. We're almost there. Don't you doubt another day that you're sick. Align your spirit, your body, your soul with your healing. Don't you walk another day thinking that it's depression or anxiety. Stop speaking it into your spirit. From today, I want you to walk. After you touch this garment, I want you to walk in wholeness. Get up tomorrow and say, this is not depression. This is peace. This is not anxiety. This is peace. This is not fear. This is faith. This is not poverty. This is prosperity. I'm not rich. I'm wealthy. Move through the crowd. Those numbers are rising up through us. Are you there yet? You got it in your hand. You got it in your spirit. It's there. You're at the core of your soul, that thing that's been bothering you. You're there. Whatever it is, release it. Touch the hem of the garment. Come on now, touch it. Let your faith make you whole. Thank you, God. Thank you for receiving us. There should be a worship in your spirit at this point. Brothers, there should be a worship, a thank you in your spirit. Come on, touch it. Let it go. Release it. Be made whole. The Father is waiting. Be made whole. It's not depression, it's peace. It's not fear, it's faith. It's not happiness, it's joy. It's not sickness, it's healed. Ooh, thank you, Father. I feel it. We are being made whole. Let's stand flat foot, raising our hands in praise. We have been made whole. Our dangers are in our distractions, brothers and sisters. He's been waiting on us. Stop speaking things over our lives that's not there. Let the King and Queen in you rise on this day. Let tomorrow be the beginning of new life in Him. Breathe in the love. Breathe in the strength. Breathe in His power. And we all align and say amen. Whew.
Ashe.
Thank you, sis, for always being, and I know she's gonna get downloads for a little bit, so I'm gonna let you just sort of flow through that because It always seems to happen, excuse me, that way. I appreciate you all for being on. Really quick, I know it has been really hard for a lot of you guys to get some of the tools and the resources that you need. Before this really popped off, I was already in the process of putting things together for what is called the Healing House. And so we do currently have, oh, and the raffle, let me put that, you know, we always do a raffle that's sold out Sunday. I'll put the details of that off into the notations too. And I'll go live today with the raffle at 8 o'clock since we didn't talk about that in the beginning to give people some time. Michi has soaps. For those of you all who know Demetria, definitely the healing products that we are connecting to can help you through this time. If you're in need of your sage, we have our sage and Palo Santo bundles for $11. Bath salts, any type of your medical needs. I'm still perfecting candles, so some of this stuff I'm actually just shipping out and giving to those who are ordering, just because we know how much you need, you know, stuff that you need. This is for your raisins. So when you smudge in your place, please, you guys, make sure that you're cleaning your place properly at this time of your own energy and the energy that's around your house. I know my boys, they just been going back and forth with scuffling, so I've been having to smudge them down quite a bit lately. My intuition tea, which is freaking amazing. I'm gonna send a couple of those out. My information is on the side here to where you can actually connect so that we can get some of those things out. Michi also makes an amazing body butter. Now there is a soap that she, I don't know, she did put it out yesterday that has the hemp oil in it. A lot of our anxiety is just like really going crazy right now. So, you know, you have to have something that can sort of combat that. So not only does she have the soap, but she has the body lotions as well. Your coils, your raisins, everything that you pretty much can't get access to right now, we are shipping out. And I am, like for those who I know who have been quarantining, right? I am going to allow for a few of y'all, especially my tribe, because they have been quarantining for real, to be able to come and pick those things up. Very selective, spirit-led, where you can just sort of come and get them, and everything, even your herbs. We'll have herbs more so towards the middle of this month, from your rose petals to your mugworts to your mullein to your hyssop, agrimony, things that you can, you know, put together to sort of clear your aura, clear the energy in your space, create your own spiritual baths. And of course, we have spiritual baths as well. I think I done pretty much tapped on everything. Yes, Michi soap is the truth. Nick, oh hell fucking yeah. Nick, well, how we gonna get your shit? Oh, she can give me a couple weeks. Do you have anything over there I can mask up and come and pick up?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna be picking up Nick's. Then
you gonna deliver?
I've done this shit out for y'all. Hey, I'm going in right now like a straight G. Look, cover up, and you know, I just know how important it is right now that we have what we need. And the Zen sense is phenomenal. It is an amazing incense, and I'm not just saying that because I love her. Like seriously, you know, I got mine. I was like, let me see what this shit gonna do. You know, got that life. You know, she been in the lab cooking up that work, and I lit it at my altar and started doing stuff. Then I said, damn, what is that smell? And it had overtook my entire house, and that was really beautiful. And I was like, dang, you know, it felt good when you know that, you know, sometimes when people have to dip out a little bit, but when they come back out, they are prepared and ready and got something to give you solution wise. And this is what this time is about. We got tools all day. Duka dropped tools. Nick was here dropping tools. You know, everyone was in here. Crystal gave us an amazing prayer, very intentional. You take from all of this what you feel. You know, I don't give anybody and say, hey, go do this, or hey, go do that, or, you know, not be this or not be that. No, you take the tools, what you, and try some different things that can actually work for you, and you can implement into your life And if it's something that you don't connect with, then hell, don't connect with it. And if it's something that you do connect with, use that to level yourself up, the best version of yourself. And that's all I tell people all the time. I'm the connector. I promise you, if you got some shit going through it, I ain't everybody's solution. Please understand that. But I guarantee you, I know somebody who can help you get your shit together, you know, and help you sort of deal with some of the things that you are working through. And that's how this platform has been created, because these women that are actually and the men that I'm connecting with are real live data truths, you know. And so make sure you reach out. Everybody has put their information over here in the group chat, but like I said, I'm also going to put an email together to make sure that everyone is able to connect with what you need, especially during this time. They're saying we're going to be locked in here in Dallas till May 20th. That's over a month. That's over a month. Do not get lost in your anxiety and figuring like, you know, like you just, you know, like you're just losing your mind. Create, try some things. Let's plan some things out. I'm going to do some purpose planning sessions. You guys go online and schedule those. Get up sometimes and put on, you know, put on your red lipstick and feel cute. You know, today I got on my shirt. Thank you, Crystal. Crystal, my sis, is one of the sponsors for today for Sold Out Sunday. Can y'all read that? No.
Thou shalt not try me.
Shall not try me. 24/7. That is available online for you guys to search. 24/7, you know, and I was like, this is a good scripture right here. I was like, man, this is gonna be one of my favorite shirts. You can get that on Crystal P Official. Crystal, make sure that you put your, okay, she put it back on there. Thank y'all for coming in and trusting the process. Please go back and play Nick's live from last night's meditation. You know, yeah. I definitely am going to tap into that. Y'all know I meditate at nighttime, because if I do it in the daytime, I'm going to be asleep. I'm a nighttime killer. So I'm going to tap in that later on tonight. We are raffling off a FDSU enrollment. And for those who are enrolling, even at this time, I'm actually going to make sure that for the month of May and the month of June, that we do something more intentional to sort of help those who are trying to fresh start off this journey and who are running into some financial difficulties. We're going to do some things to sort of just help make sure that we are pushing out in gratitude. I'm extremely grateful for this time. I know it seems like a lot, but I'm finding so much gratitude in the fact that I actually can sit down and be right here in my space and actually get some things out. Also, Black Women Heal Different. Black Women Heal Different. My ebook comes out on 4/11. 4/11, I was supposed to have to relaunch my whole brand, everything, but my ebook is going to come out on 4/11. Black Women Heal Differently, the first 30-day guide to releasing and letting go. So you guys stay connected to that. I'm grateful for this time. I'm really appreciative, because I'm finding out a lot about myself, but I'm also getting a lot of clarity too. So if nothing else, Vanessa said, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. This was so needed. Connie, thank you, this was needed. Crystal, oh, Crystal done gave y'all a god dog on me code. FDSU. Come on, Crystal. Yeah, see, that's what happens when you connected right there. Kim says she was super grateful for this morning. I'm happy I tuned in. The energy was amazing. Thank you to the brothers and sisters for all of this positive energy and prayer. Lots of just amazing gratitude. I am going to upload this to YouTube and send you guys out a link so that you can just sort of go back and replace some of the things if you need. If nothing else, I love you guys. Oh, y'all know what we got to do. Okay, all of the ladies who are in their red lipstick, please send me a selfie of you guys in your red lipstick, or post it and tag Sold Out Sunday. Red lipstick edition, please, 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 please. I just want to just go through all day and just be like, oh yeah, look at this. This is dope. This is dope. You know, that just helps raise my vibrations. Make sure
I couldn't find none laying around the house this morning.
Yeah, whatever. I knew this. Yeah, the day that I can get you in some red lipstick is the day. Okay. I knew you were finna come. I swear to God, I said, I know she finna say something. I know good damn well that Nick wasn't coming in no damn red lipstick. Nick, can you go on Snapchat though and do the Snapchat filter and see if it'll give you some red lipstick?
I sure will.
Man, that's gonna be amazing. That's gonna be amazing. Post your red lipstick that's with the Snapchat. I think it give you eyelashes too. Do it give you eyelashes?
Don't
So,
do
yeah.
one that turn you into the little the lady with the hair. Don't do that one. It's one that you can actually choose your lipsticks on.
Oh,
Yeah.
come on then.
Okay.
Give with Leilani for instructions because she is
Snapchat queen. Okay, gotcha.
Okay. Other than that, I love you guys. I think I pretty much have said everything that I need to say. Did I leave anything out, Nick? Chantel? No?
Nope.
Okay.
For those that don't want to join the sisterhood circle, it's in there.
Yes. And y'all, Chantel, did you max out last week for your class?
Almost max out. Only have a couple spots left.
Okay. Make sure y'all connect with Chantel too for her what is it? Joyous
Journeys. Journeys of she. Yep.
Journeys of she. Yes.
9 weeks healing the little girl within.
That next level healing. 9 weeks, the last time that you will be able to get it for $99. So make sure that you take advantage of the now, because later on the price is going to increase. Okay. I love you all. Thank you for being amazing. These are our professors. Nick, Leilani is one of our FDSU professors in training, who's going to follow up on this meditation and all of this amazingness as well. Leilani, I know we hadn't really talked about it, but teams sold out Sunday.
About the picture about it.
Okay, we are going to have something in place for that, so y'all reach out to her, because we're not going to leave them. We're not going to let them come down. We're not going to leave them out during this time either. So we're going to find something creative and fun to do with that. That's it. I love y'all.
All right, we love you too.
Love you too. Hey, finish when you said fuck that shit.
I'm sorry. Okay, 1, 2. Thank you, Leilani. 1, 2, 3.
Fuck that shit. Fuck that shit.
That shit.
Fuck that shit.
Y'all should not try me 24/7, okay? Y'all have a good day.
All right.
Love y'all.
Love y'all.
Love you more.